What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Our Perspective podcast. It's me and Carmen today. We are talking about sibling rivalries and really how growing up and doing life together really just resulted in just such a beautiful relationship, and some of the fun trials, some of our biggest fights, what we did to annoy each other. But at the end of the day, it was just how close we grew by just supporting and encouraging and loving each other. It's such a fun episode. I really enjoyed just kind of getting to spend some time with Carmen and looking back on the old days, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Welcome on in to Our Perspective podcast. I'm your host, Thomas Davis, and I am joined with our co-host, Carmen, the LDP legend. I told y'all, this is going to be the best podcast of the Our Perspective podcast so far.
He's taking the podcast a little far. He's really excited for a spotlight moment.
I'm so excited. This is going to be a blast. This is going to be a lot of stories, excited. A lot of just fun memories.
If you can't tell, Thomas really enjoys being on a podcast, and I think he wants his own about Auburn football.
What?
Oh my gosh.
I am. I was made for the spotlight. Okay. I'm super excited about it. All right, guys, we're going to dive right on in. We're going to start with a Bible verse. But we are going to be talking today about the sibling rivalry and really how we went from fierce enemies, growing up together, always fighting, always arguing, to becoming the bestest of friends.
Yes.
And so we're going to start with this passage in 1 John. It's chapter 4, verse 19 through 21. And it's going to sound a little tough to start, but we'll explain it in just a second. But it goes like this. We love because he first loved us. Whoever claims to love God yet hates a brother or sister is a liar. For whoever does not love their brother and sister whom they have seen cannot love God whom they have not seen. And he has given us this command. Anyone who loves God must also love their brother and sister. And this goes just beyond your blood brother and sisters. Obviously, this is talking about brothers and sisters in Christ. But I think it's just so cool how he gives us this command to love our brothers and sisters. And growing up, it's just, we were talking about this right before the podcast, but just how important it was to just have these built-in best friends growing up and just be able to talk about our faith together as we were growing up in church and growing in our faith, and experiencing different things and going through different trials, and just to be able to kind of just talk to each other as siblings, just being kind of the same age and only 2 years apart. It was so nice to just have those people to talk about and have those relationships with.
And there's just experiences and moments in life that can really only be understood by siblings or family members. Yeah. And so just keeping those people close to you, I think is just so important, because there's some things that happen and that have happened in my life, in my childhood, that I can't really describe to my friends all the way. But there's but Thomas understands, or he knows me the best. He's known me the longest. And when I'm acting not kind, he knows my heart, and he knows how to meet me where I am, or what I might need in that moment. And so there's just things that your siblings can, and that's probably because we've talked and we've learned and we've grown together, and we have always grown up having conversations like this. But I just think there's just something special about family, but also about siblings, that they're just truly a built-in best friend. I know that sounds cliche, but it's true.
No, it is true. It is true. And it is just so important because, we're going to get into this. We fought a lot. Yes. You fought with Mary Grace a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's siblings. It's
and that's siblings. Parents, that's normal. But we just were always around.
We're not perfect.
And we did get on each other's nerves, but we also grew so close. And I think now more so that we're older and that we've gotten more mature, I think we're just so grateful to have these relationships, because I know we call it all the time just to talk about random stuff and catch up.
Literally Thomas will sometimes just call me and he's like, hey, just want to say hey. And I'm like, okay. And then we end up having an hour-long conversation. I'm late to class or something like that, because
she's like, I got to go babysit these people now.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, we had this whole conversation about some Christian topic that might be controversial or something, and we just but we listen to each other and we ask questions and we want to learn from each other. And it's honestly, I feel like faith conversations in general are just hard to have with your family. So when you can have those conversations, just so open-minded and just wait, I want to learn from you because you have a different experience than me sometimes and experience the Lord differently, but we get to like learn and grow and just know what each other are going through spiritually. Like that's so important. And like we know each other like as siblings, but like being able to know each other's like faith journey is really cool as well, being able to like support you and love you and that you meet to me, is just really special, I think, to me. So
Yeah, and I know, the people that are listening to this podcast, we both have, we grew up in church. We both have, been on our faith walks for a long time, and they've been very different. But there are
very
some
different.
siblings out there who are either in high school or maybe they're adults now who have siblings who don't know Jesus at all. And like, imagine how hard those conversations are between us. Imagine how much harder those conversations are to
Right.
have, with someone who doesn't believe.
But then it's like that's when you realize that their eternity's on the line. It's like, wait, I care so much about
Yeah.
you. It's like, where's my boldness and my faith going to come from? Because it's, I don't know. I just like, wait, you're my sibling and I care about you and your eternity's on the line. But that's kind of where my mind goes with
Yeah,
that. But
no, that's awesome. All right, so let's kind of dive in. So, Mom kind of gave us a couple questions to go through and
She
kind of
did.
give some sort of structure because if not, this one would have been a wild one. But how did we go from fighting all the time, arguing all the time, to becoming best friends? Like, what was that transition, and how did that happen? At least for you, and then I'll kind of share my perspective as well.
Yeah, I think as you kind of said earlier, we did everything together. I would really like I think it's really easy for siblings and families and parents to be so busy and doing this and then like splitting up, like dad takes this person somewhere, mom takes this person somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
siblings are all split up, but that just wasn't the case for us.
Yeah.
And it wasn't intentional that we just did everything together. It was just like we had to because it was just mom.
Yeah.
And we just had to go, like we were just all together, but it created an environment where we were there for each other, we were supporting each other, we were celebrating each other, we were there when things were bad, we know the things, and like so we went through the ups and downs together. And I think it, like our mom did a really good job of like sharing the why, like this is why you're going to go to a recital, this is
Right.
why you're going to go to my horseback riding lesson, this is why I'm going to Thomas's basketball game where he's just filming the basketball players.
It was just fine.
Like we go and we celebrate each other and we love each other and we're there for each other. And so it wasn't just like, oh, we're going to the basketball game because that's what we're doing. It was, this is why we're doing it. And at least for my brain, that was so helpful because I like to know the why. I ask a lot of questions. I like to know the reasoning behind things. But truly, I think in general for us as siblings, like, wait, this is what we do for each other. And I think our mom exemplified that as well. Like, she celebrated us so well individually.
Yeah.
And we saw that, and I was like, wait, I want to celebrate Thomas. Like, I want to celebrate Mary Grace. And we got to celebrate each other. But we also got to be there for each other in the lows as well. So I think we just did things together. We were together. We took care of each other. Like our mom really emphasized, like you guys. She was sometimes we would fight, and then she'd be like, "You guys are each other's best friends." Like, and I'm like, "Mom, we're really not even fighting that seriously."
No.
So, she's like, "You guys can't lose each other," and I'm like, "We're not." Like, it was so funny, but truly, like, we are each other's best friends, and like, kind of locked in for life. We're always gonna be siblings. And so it's like, why not be there for each other? Why not celebrate each other? I think as we got older, we just realized what that meant to us more. So
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And it's so funny that you kind of share that because I feel there's so many times that we were kind of like play fighting or joking around.
yeah,
And like, I think those are the times that mom got the most mad at us.
I
Like, why are you
know.
fighting? I'm like,
We're
not
just
even really
joking.
fighting.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. But no, I think that you kind of summed it up so well. But we just always had to be with each other. And, from when I was younger playing golf and I was doing golf lessons before school, everybody had to get up and
Yes.
everybody had to
And
go.
we would go to
and
golf
she
lessons.
and she mentioned the recitals. There was 2 or 3 years that Carmen and Mary Grace's recitals were on the same day as my birthday. And we were talking about it, and Mom was like, "How did you never resent that or get angry at that?" And I was like, I don't know. Like and maybe that was just my personality. We celebrated my birthday on another day, but I think you said it so well as Mom explained the why. Mom explained how important this was for you or how important this was for Mary
Yeah.
Grace. And so, for me, it was just like, okay, like we are going to celebrate that because it's important to them. And when I'm doing something that's important to me, you guys were always there. And sometimes it was because you had to be, because we didn't have a
Right?
choice. But you guys did it with such a happy heart, and I think we just learned to just do it with a happy heart because we had no other choice.
Yes, that was a saying. We do things with a
We
happy
do things
heart.
with a happy heart. That's right. And so I think as we got older and it became a choice. Now, I started
Right.
driving, we got older, like I think we had just always grown up or grew up just supporting each other and
And like,
encouraging each other.
and when I would be like, Thomas, can you come to my horseback riding
Right.
lesson? You knew how important that was for me.
Exactly.
And so you came
Mhm.
and you would walk beside me as I went on a trail ride. And like those memories are like forever in my mind because that meant a lot to me. And you saw that and you realized that. And so when I asked you to come to my horseback riding lesson, you're like, of course. And I'm like, I don't feel like it's a normal thing. So
Yeah, I don't know. And that was tough for me because I am allergic to the horses. As much as I loved being at the barn, I really did enjoy it. It was a good time. But I was popping Zyrtex left and right just to get through horse shows on the weekends. And it was a lot
the
of
weekend
fun, though.
horse shows,
The weekend horse
everyone
shows
was
were
there.
rough.
It
I had a
was an all
Kleenex,
day thing.
Zyrtex, and just taking
Horses
videos
everywhere.
of Carmen doing random things.
But
Filming.
you were like my number one supporter. Like I like still watch videos in the back commentaries. Like Thomas like literally comment like as she goes up for the jump, she makes it, nothing falls. Like and like you're just like supporting me and like you're like my fan. Like you're celebrating me in the things that were important to me as I like learned to do for you. Like sitting there and letting you talk about trees for hours. As my nose is bleeding in the car and you want to go measure a tree. Do you remember that?
I do.
You're like, oh, I think this tree is this wide. And I'm like,
and
Thomas,
we
my
used-
nose is bleeding, like gushing out blood. And you're like, wait, I need to go measure it. And you go and like find this thing in the back of your truck. And I'm like, this is taking a lot of time.
Yeah, I'm like showing him how to measure the tree, and you're like sticking tampons up your nose
Yeah.
to keep it from bleeding.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah.
That's just what happened, guys.
Yeah.
Let's make it normal.
So he was measuring the tree. He's like, oh, I was a point this much off. He's like, did you see how you do it? I'm like, I can't. I'm too. Like, you have no other napkins or anything in your car. I need to go home. It was really funny. Good times.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But I think it was just like you said, as we got older, we just had such an appreciation for each other, and it was just so nice to have, like I said at the beginning, just having those built-in best friends that always support us and always wanting to be there for us, because it really did mean so much to me.
Yeah.
Being at the senior nights or just being at football games, like I was running around the sidelines with water bottles and taping ankles and fixing helmets, yet you guys were there supporting me. Even when you didn't have to be. You guys were old enough to stay at home and do other things. But I remember, like, I was just thinking about the other day of like what it was like just growing up with you and with May at Grace. And like sometimes you were just like, it's like, dang, you guys were just random people just like living with me, and we would just sit on the couch together and watch TV, or we were doing Chopped together.
Oh my
Do
gosh.
you remember that?
Yes, mom would like, we'd be home alone and we would
Mhm.
text mom or I don't even know. if
We're
we
gonna do
had
Chopped.
phones.
We're gonna use the oven.
Can we use the oven? We would ask her to
It was
use
just
the
to
oven.
make toast too.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like not anything
And
crazy.
we would make these foods so that I would like have a competition of who made the best like meal, and mom would come home and try it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
and-
so fun.
But it was just everything we did together.
Yeah, it was never
And-
like go to like all of us in our own rooms. Like we never were in our own rooms like doing like I remember I had my own room. Maybe we shared this on another episode, but I had my own room one time, and like I think the only time I had my own room in a house. And Megan didn't want to sleep by herself, so she got moved to my room. I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't even realize I had a choice. Like I didn't have a choice in this. But it's like we just like she wanted to be with me. We were together,
Yeah.
like we would at night when we would have the time together of like unpacking our hearts, like we were all in the room together. We would read scripture together. Like we just ended and started our mornings together. We did things together throughout the day. So I don't think like our mom was like, oh, we have to do this so that you guys are close in the future. I just think that's the Holy Spirit. It was just the Holy Spirit. Like it was
Yeah.
only through him that like she could make those decisions and do those things, not knowing how it's going to end up. But now we get to encourage other people and parents to be like, no, do this because this was so helpful in like celebrating and loving each other well. So
Yeah. No. And I feel like, I mean, we even got in trouble together. Like, I think the
Yes.
last time I got spanked, I think we all got spanked.
Yeah.
And I remember I laughed and then I got my Xbox taken away. And that was like,
And I
the real-
laughed and I got another spanking.
Yeah, no, that was, but we always got in trouble together. We always had fun together. No, it was, I just remember like growing up.
TP'd our room together.
TP'd our room. We got ready for Rolling Tumors.
Yes.
Remember that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Mom was really upset about that one, but we just always did everything together, and that was so fun. Like I remember a buddy of ours, like of our parents, was keeping a boat at our house. Remember we'd go out on the boat and like throw leaves out there, and we'd fish
Oh my
for
gosh.
the leaves.
Yes.
And we'd sit on the boat and play.
That was.
It was like so random that I thought of that, but I mean.
Or
it was just
remember the
everything
car, the toy car that we got,
oh
and
my
like we had to
God.
share it,
Yes.
right? Or like
I
it
don't
was
like
mine,
sharing.
or you, or
It was definitely
Thomas's.
yours. It was like bright pink.
Yeah,
It was
and then
definitely
you would always drive it, and I had to be
Yeah.
okay with it.
It was fun.
And yeah, but I think it's cool that like, so talking about all those memories and all those fun times of us doing things together in our childhood, how that has like kind of portrayed into the future and like now, like in our relationship now, it has, because I remember my freshman year in college, I was having a hard time. Like I didn't have a hard time often, but like there was just one, like I remember a day where I was like, I need to get out of here. Like
Yeah.
I'm tired of all these people. I need to leave. I need like a family. Like I needed the comfort of a family member.
Right.
And you were 2 hours away at Auburn, and I was on the phone with Mom, and Mom had to go to a meeting, and I was like, what do I do? I was like literally sitting in my car because I didn't know where else to go, and I was sitting in my car crying, which is a little dramatic, but. And I called Thomas. I'm like, Thomas, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm at the hunting house right now because we have like property to go hunting on, and he was there, and I'm like, you're only an hour away from me, can I come? And he's like, well, I'm like leaving soon, I have to like study for an exam. I'm like, okay. I'm like, it's fine.
I don't even think
And-
I was at the hunting house. I think I was in Auburn.
Oh,
I'm
and you
pretty sure
met
I
me
was in
there.
Auburn. I met you there. I remember
Probably.
driving there.
And you had an exam to study for the next day, and you met me there, and then so we were both there, and then I really wanted sushi, and so you took me out to sushi, and the sushi place was like 20 minutes the opposite way of me, and you're like, okay, let's just take two separate cars, because it was towards where you live, and so it was like 20 minutes closer to where you live.
Oh, that's right. I think I met you at the farm.
Yes, we were at the farm, and
Mhm.
then I was like, I don't want to drive by myself, and so you drove me and we got dinner. Then you drove me back to the house, which was like just 40 minutes extra for you.
Yeah.
When you already had driven. And you did it, and we spent time together, and it wasn't even like I needed to talk through anything. You were just there for me, and we laughed, and you made fun of me, and it was so comforting. But like, you knew in that moment I needed you, and you were there for me. And I think like the time that we spent together, like, just kind of made that moment, like you seeing that your eyes
Right.
were open to that, and it was just, that was a moment I would never forget, because I just felt so like seen and taken care of by you. So
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that all boils down to that is just what we've always done for each other.
yeah.
And we've always just kind of been there for each other. And when we've needed each other, we have all just made sacrifices to do that. And I think a lot of that was watching our mom make sacrifices for all
For
of
sure.
us. And it was like, what's the least we can do for our siblings, and serve them. And so, yeah, we fought a lot growing up. What was the most annoying thing that I did? We didn't talk about what was the most annoying thing that
I
I
don't
did
really. You're just so slow
because
sometimes.
I can name a couple.
Okay, so you're just like so slow sometimes. And, like, we'd be in a rush. I'm like, let's go. Like, let's go. And you were in no rush. Oh, no, it was the mornings. It was the mornings.
That's what I was thinking of.
The mornings going to school. He would wake up like 5 minutes before we had to leave. I'm like, I cannot be late for school. And he would drive us. And I was like, I would yell at him, and
A lot.
it was
No,
a lot of
that's-
fights in the morning.
Normally it's your parents that come in your room 5-6 times, like dragging you out of bed. No, it was Carmen for me. She'd be the one that comes in my room like, Thomas, get up. We're not gonna be late to school. And then it'd be like 5 minutes later, she'd be coming back.
He
I'll
didn't
still
get
see-
up.
No, I had plenty of time. I'd roll out of bed. I'd throw my button down on and my khakis that I probably worn 4 days in a row. My Sperry's, my hair was not done. Like the tie that we talked about ties, it was tied 2 weeks ago. Just tighten it back up, and I'd be the first one in the car.
Yeah,
And
and sometimes
Carmen-
I'd forget my shoes.
Yeah, we'd be
or-
like driving. She's been yelling at me. She's like crying And like on the way, and she's like, I forgot my shoes. And I'm like, how did we forget shoes?
I always put my shoes on in the car. I still do that to this day.
Yeah. So
I would forget my shoes. We had to turn around.
that was, we were in high school.
It happened multiple times. I would forget my shoes.
That was a daily occurrence. And we started all the way back to when we were like riding bikes to school. Remember, Mom had him get it early, so we would ride bikes to school, and we'd ride bikes back from school. And we always found a way to fight on those too sometimes. I don't know why.
Well, remember my the pedals broke one time, and you guys left me, and I was by myself.
That was not my best work. That was
Mom was so mad at you guys because you and
really
Mary Grace left, and I was like, "You guys go. I'll be late to school." And you guys left me, and you told my teacher or something that my pedal.
She's gonna be a little behind.
My pedals just fell off. It was so weird.
It was random.
But I walked to school by myself with my bike.
Yeah.
Made it.
Yeah, that was the frontal lobe was still developing there a little bit, guys. So we weren't perfect, but no, it was so. But we did fight a lot. I can tell you some things you did. I mean, we named one of them was waking me up. Yeah. I think the thing that was most annoying though was you and Mary Grace fighting all the time. And I guess I've talked about that when you and Mary Grace were on a podcast, but y'all didn't get my perspective of that.
Here's your perspective.
So here's my perspective of it. So Carmen and Mary Grace would fight over something, and it was trivial, guys. They didn't talk about trivial.
It was like a pencil or a doll.
My gosh. It was like
the most random
Carmen
things.
was playing with Mary Grace's little off-brand American Girl doll, and yours, and then Mary Grace would start playing with yours, and it was like someone shot your dog. I mean, you would lose it. And so, of course, me, who I don't like conflict, I don't like hearing people screaming and yelling at each other, would try to go in and mitigate. I would try to stop it and be like, guys, it's okay. And this was when they were most unified, was when I stepped in and tried to bring the peace. And they would...
You didn't need to step in war zone.
No, they ganged up on me, and I was absolutely berated. You always do this. You don't know what you're talking about, and blah, blah, blah. And it was like they were best friends again because I became their enemy. And that was the cross that I bore throughout most of my childhood. And
the drama.
And it was okay. But it was just so funny because it's so fun seeing you and Mary Grace now are best friends, and you guys still kind of fight over the stupidest things, like clothes. Yes. It's not dolls now, it's clothes. It's like Carmen will wear clothes of Mary Grace's all week, and then Mary Grace touches one of Carmen's clothes, and again,
so
it's
true though.
She loses it. She's like, I told you not to wear those, and blah blah blah. And it was
they're missing
as Carmen's got an entire fit on from Mary Grace.
Or Mary Grace, what should I wear? And she picks out a whole outfit that's hers, and I'm like, awesome, I love it.
Yeah, but I mean, I see my girlfriend and her younger sister, and they do the exact same thing. So it's so when I say these
siblings
things,
are going to fight.
Yes,
it's going to happen. Doesn't mean they hate each other. Doesn't mean they're going to end up hating each other. Just what happens.
But I think this is the message: is these we did such normal sibling things, but I think it's so important, and this is more to parents, of putting your kids in positions where they get to experience life together. And
because we did not just experience the highs with each other, we experienced the lows. So when Thomas was going through something and Mom had to spend extra time with Thomas, Mom would come to us and be like, hey, I'm going to go lay with Thomas a little extra tonight because he needs it because of this, this, and this. And she wouldn't go around airing out our dirty laundry or anything, but she would share with us enough where we were like, oh wait, Thomas needs this. He needs a little extra love tonight. That's okay. You go, Mom. Or the same with us. And so it was just she would communicate that to us so that we knew, so that we could love Thomas better too.
Right.
And that was sometimes by letting Mom go spend extra time with Thomas or anything like that.
So just like the highs and Mom explaining the highs and us getting to celebrate in the highs, we also knew when each of us were at our lows. And so we got to love each other especially and got to understand the difference and just kind of have empathy. And so I love that. And I think that's, so nice to just have siblings that not only understand you when you're at your high, but also understand you low.
It so happens today. I will tell Mom something about my week or whatever, and then Thomas would call me later, a few weeks later. He's like, "Oh, I heard about this." I'm like, "Who told you that?" I know Mom told you this.
Oh no, and it's so funny because
I did not tell you that.
I'll talk to mom, and sometimes it's just to keep the conversation going with mom because she's like, all right, I gotta go, and I'm like, not ready for you to go yet. So I'll be like, so how's Nanny? What have you heard about Carmen?
Oh my gosh.
What's going on with Mary Grace? And I'll get her talking again, and I'll get her talking again. But then I'll hear it. I know what's going on with you guys, and I know like, okay, like Carmen's struggling with something. Like, let me give her a call. Let me see how she's doing. Or
And then it's like, okay, how's this boy? I'm like,
yeah.
oh, how do you know
I
about
heard
that?
about this guy.
How do you know about that? Because I for sure didn't tell you that. So
I gotta look out for you.
mom's airing out my dirty laundry a little bit, just a little.
But no, but it was just, and it was so nice.
It's just to you, truly. Honestly.
It really is just to me. I love hearing what's going on with you guys. Like that's.
Well, I appreciate it because then you call and you check in on me and like you want to actually know because you care.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. So, but parents, it's so important to put your kids in positions where they experience life together. And I know they're gonna be doing so many different things. Like I remember when I was doing football and like mom put both of the girls in cheer. And so they were always at the games doing cheerleading. And I don't know how she did it because we were normally at this park all day. And then, of course, the cheer competitions came around, which let me tell you, parents who do cheer competitions, you guys are the true heroes of the world because you guys sit in there. I was talking to someone the other day. You guys sit in there. You guys get there at 6 a.m. A lot of times you're buying a hotel the night before. You get there at 6 or 7 a.m. and you are there until like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, all to watch your kid do 1 2.5 minute routine. And there's a pretty good chance that your kid probably dropped somebody. And
they all get awards anyways.
Exactly. And you paid thousands of dollars to be there, some of you guys. And so I just want to applaud you for that because I just know as a parent, one day, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I don't know if I'll be able to do baseball tournaments. Like
you say
we
that.
already
Let's
talked
see.
about it. They're not going to know what a baseball bat is. Because I am not traveling across the country to watch my kid.
Don't say it. Don't say I won't do it.
I know because I will end up doing it, but we'll see what happens. But y'all are the real troopers, and it's even worse when you're the kid and you grew up in a single parent household and you ask your mom. Everyone's like buying all like the fun treats and stuff, and your mom's like, "Yeah, we're getting a little thing of fries that we're gonna share." So you get like 3 fries.
We have to split it up.
And,
I was always wanting to hold it to make sure that it was evenly tossed out.
Crying, and I'm like, "We're here for you. We're here for you."
Oh man, yeah, we would share everything, like treats and all the things. It's fun, though.
But all that to say is just like I know as kids they probably don't always look like they want to be there, but if you explain to them the why and you show them how important it is to support your siblings, those are things they're going to learn, and those are things they're going to continue to do. So it's better to start when they're younger, but even when they're older, like just explaining to them like, hey, like your little sister's doing this weekend. It's just important that you're there to support her. Like she's really excited about this and she would love that you're there.
And I think back to the verse of like at the beginning of what you read, verse 19 in 1 John 4, it says we love because he first loved us. Right. So like basically everything like our mom would like say to us was, wait, we do this because of this. Like we love each other, we love our friends, we love people because like the Lord first loved us in our highs and in our lows. And so I get to love you, I get to love Mary Grace, I get to love my mom in her highs and their highs and in their lows, because the Lord doesn't just love us in our highs or when we're celebrating or furthering his kingdom. He loves us in our lows when we're sinful and we're broken. And so I think just going back to that verse of like, it's not just when we're not fighting or we're the best of friends. It's when we're not too. And that's like exemplifying the Lord's love for us. And so just that reminder of like, not just in the good, but in the bad. And we get to love each other because that's what he first did for us. And so I just think that verse is really sweet.
Yeah. And you know, and another thing, and I know one of the big points of this podcast we talk about is communication and learning about our communication styles. And this is like the last point for today, but I think that was super important for us as we got older and we
For sure.
understood how we communicated just as siblings. And so when we were going through those highs and when we were going through those lows, we knew how to appropriately communicate with each other.
And we
and
did
how to
not do
love
it
each
right
other.
all the time,
No,
but
we didn't.
we learned from trial and error. When I would say
100%.
things a certain way and Thomas would not react the way I wanted him to, I realized I had to change how I was saying things or doing things because he does not communicate the way I communicate sometimes. So I had to be able to learn how to lean in. And like, gosh, Thomas, you have done that way more for me, I feel like, than I have for you sometimes because I have put I've like in the past have put lots of high expectations on you to fill a role that was not your role, but you were so patient with me and loving me. But that's just who you are. You're just a patient person. And but you met me where I was a lot of the time. And so it's just so helpful because I knew, like, you knew that about me. You knew those things about me. And the same with you. And I got to lean into you sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, and that's one thing mom's always preached as well, was like loving people where they're at. And so loving you where you're at and loving you as you're, going through high school, going through middle school, everything's changing, a lot of things are going on, a lot of hormones.
Oh my gosh.
And so you were sometimes crying one day and for no reason, and I just had to find a way just to be patient and love you because I know that's what I want you to do for me. So
Right.
but again, none of that was possible without mom and just that structure of understanding how we communicate and how we understand our personality.
And she exemplified it for us.
Exactly.
So it wasn't just her telling us to do this. It's like she did it and we saw it. So we got to do it because that's the example that we had.
Yeah.
So it always, like, it truly starts with parents, like, exemplifying it and doing it together and with their kids. So, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we are going to wrap it up. Thank y'all so much for joining us for another podcast. Please please subscribe. This has been so much fun just kind of talking about, just the importance of doing things together as a family and making sure that your kids are growing up together and experiencing life together, because I promise it is always going to result in such fruitful relationships. So thank y'all so much for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Go and leave people better than you found them.
Peace.